Hey guys, it's me. It's Lauren. I'm sitting here in this window because this is where I meditate, one of two places. If I'm inside, I do it here. I have a cushion on the floor because I like this little spot here because it's got plants and all my books and stuff are here. And the other spot is outside, which I shared on Instagram the other day. I have a little corner outside with also lots of plants and stuff because I have a garden outside and like a really cool space in the backyard. And I wanted to shoot that out there, but it's too loud because I live near a freeway. So I can't really shoot outside. I am a little backlit, but I think it's fine. So I went on Instagram and I asked if I should post a video this week about why I meditate. And a resounding yes was the answer. What were the results? It was like 90% yes. 88% yes. 289 votes for yes, 40 votes for no. Anyway, so this video is about why I meditate. And I thought about doing this video actually today when I was meditating, which of course, was I meditating or was I thinking? I don't know. It just popped into my head while I was meditating and feeling good, feeling in the vortex. I felt like, okay, I should maybe explain why I do this. I have a bunch of other videos where I do touch on probably some of these same, I guess, answers as to why I meditate or reasons. I always tell people to go watch my Meditation and More playlist, which is linked below. It is a YouTube playlist of all the themed videos about meditation, spirituality, or anything kind of like that that I've talked about. This isn't a planned video, so it's not like I organized what I was going to say into like 5 easy points. I was just going to talk because that's what I do best, and I think that's what you like. So why I meditate. One, I meditate because I feel better. I feel good in meditation. Sometimes, and most often, better in meditation than not in meditation. Of course, I can't sit around and meditate all day, nor do I really want to. But I do it in the morning usually, most often in the morning, every day. And I've been doing it very consistently since moving here, and also because I'm working on my next cookbook, I'm doing it. Which I guess leads me into my other reason why I do it. I do it to channel kind of like creativity, or to channel my mission, or to channel my higher purpose, or whatever you want to call it. I got into meditation in 2013, and I also used it as a tool during my first cookbook as a way to harness creativity or to channel creativity. And when I say channel, I don't mean to like throw you off or make it seem like something unattainable that only certain people can do. That's not what that's meant to sound like. I just meant that, or I mean that I've noticed because of meditation, I believe it's why I'm able to do what I do and why I've done what I've done in terms of running Hot for Food as a business and being able to output as much creativity as I do. And this was not something that I ever did in the past. I actually felt like I wasn't really that creative. So I definitely use it as that type of tool. It's not always why I meditate, but in the last little while anyways, because I am working on this new cookbook, it has been why I'm meditating. And I guess when I go to sit down in the morning, it's not like every day I'm like praying that like a good idea comes through or something like that. It's not so literal, I guess, or like that. I just know that going into that mode where I'm connecting to who I really am, connecting to my higher self, connects me to my purpose, connects me to that that channel or that line or that connection of like me here in the physical realm and me in an invisible vibrational realm. And the more I can connect and align to that, then the more authentic and real, like that's, I think, what authenticity actually means, the more of that will come through. And it is on those days where I have aligned or lined myself up with that vibration, like a high vibration, that those are the days that the output is really good, or there's a lot of new ideas or things that I couldn't have planned that occur during this specific cookbook creation process is what I'm referring to, that have happened. And so I trust and I rely on that method because it's worked. But I don't go into it in the morning to go sit with like this, I guess, attachment to that should be what comes from doing this, if that makes any sense. I don't go and sit down again praying or attaching to the idea that I need to get that energy. I just trust that it's going to come when it's supposed to or when it needs to. But if it doesn't, that's okay too. And there are, of course, times when I meditate and then the day is kind of just, it isn't one of those like overly fantastic or productive days, but I still see the importance of that day too, and whatever happened that day. I guess it lets me have a little bit more ease around, I suppose, how things are produced and how things progress, because I shouldn't say I don't ever, but it helps me try not to at least label, if we're talking about having a creative day or not creative day, it helps me to not label like this day was good and this day wasn't good, if that makes any sense. It helps me see the bigger picture. It helps me stay focused on the bigger picture and the bigger purpose of all the things that I do, whether it's making a cookbook or like any other, small, medial task that I might do during the day. It keeps me focused in a bigger picture way, in a bigger perspective way, in a higher perspective way, which I think helps maintain a sense of groundedness and also ease for everything. In that, of course, I still get wound up about stuff and have panic attacks and meltdowns. Like, that still happens, but like less, maybe not. Maybe the times that I am in that place is less of a time, less of a moment than it was in the past. I guess it's also in a way like meditation's given me a peace of mind in that sense, and also it's almost like having faith, or I guess you could call it trust or surrender, but it just puts me in a place of knowing that everything's working out, and that even when things look like they're not working out, they are working out. And that's the whole challenge or contrast that I need to go through in order to get to where I need to go and where I know that my highest self wants to go. I feel like I'm getting stuck here on some words, but it's those reasons that I meditate. But this is not to say, and I always want to reiterate this, that I am some kind of like master at this. No, this is like an everyday practice, and there's nothing to like get to. There's no goal in this, and I believe there actually shouldn't be. Like, you shouldn't be meditating because you want to be rid of all pain and suffering, or because you want to feel good 100% of the time, or because you want to become enlightened. Like, when we get wrapped up in these ideas of achieving something through meditation, I think it defeats the purpose of it. So I think early on I did fall sort of into that trap, but now I understand, like, I mean, this is just an everyday thing. And again, because I'm not a master at it, like, I'm learning as I go, but I'm learning like big things, leaps and bounds, sort of like quickly all the time, and like just learning. And when I say learning, I mean learning more about myself. And that, it doesn't mean that I don't have anxiety still, or freak out about things and like get all flustered, and that happens still, like a lot. But the meditation, and again, this faith in something more about myself, like something bigger, the bigger picture perspective I'm talking about, lets me go and move through those moments of contrast with less uptightness, less resistance, less judgment about myself. So yeah, a lot of this I actually talked about in a interview that I did for an online summit event called Visionary Vegan Woman. And I was asked by Kate, who ran it, to participate in this, and she interviewed me, and we called my talk Manifest Your Life. And I was promoting it for a while on social and through my newsletter because I wanted you guys to register, which was free. to register, and then you would get access to all these interviews with so many women who are vegan and doing good in the world. And it was supposed to be this empowering, or it was this empowering sort of platform in which all of us had a chance to speak on specific topics. And so some of you may have caught that, so a lot of this might be repetitive, but I realized like not everyone may have seen me post about that or whatever, or you didn't have time to get to the interview within the sort of 48 hours it was available for. So I kind of wanted to cover some of what I talked about in that interview or that talk here. And mainly it was about like why meditation is important and some of the misconceptions that people think about when they think about meditation. And I think, again, I still get a lot of comments on these videos of like you guys saying, talk more about this because I'm not doing it, or I need more encouragement to do it. And now that I've been doing it for a few years, I obviously like want everyone to do it, because the thing is you're just opening up this like treasure box that is you and realizing more and more. It's like all about self-actualization and self-realization and self-awareness, and like that's the kind of stuff you need to explore, I think, if you want to live a full and content life. And the learning never stops. That's the thing. And I'm like super into just continuing that and like revealing more of that. Like I want to understand all of why I'm here and what I'm supposed to do and what's going on. Like I just have this sense that there's like something else going on, and I know that there's something else going on because I feel it and see it and viscerally experience it through meditation. And so to me it's like really important to go to that place every day and understand again that bigger thing that's going on, so that I don't become all consumed and like go mental about all the little stupid things like in this world, that, you know, stupid little things and like insane, crazy, stupid big things too, that, you know, I can't solve all of the world's problems, and nor can you, but you can take up a little bit of space with, you know, something that you can offer the world and something you can offer in service. And the only way you can get to that knowing about what that is and what that might look like is truly, I believe, through accessing this higher self that you have, that you will access if you get quiet and meditate. And so I meditate because there is no other, I think, space and state in which you feel it as strongly as you do as when you are still and focused only on breath, or, you know, focused on one little thing like the sound in the background of the highway or of the air conditioner or something. You just, people will say, oh, well, I exercise and that's my form of meditation, or I do this and that's my form of meditation. Those, of course, are forms of meditation or focus, but there really is something in the sitting, being quiet thing that everyone's afraid of. You don't want to go there, and there's some resistance about going there, maybe because of what you're afraid you will reveal. Thing is, there is really nothing to be afraid of, but because that just, there's no sense in having fear in that space at all. There's nothing to be afraid of, but you can think about your resistance to wanting to meditate as something to be explored also, because why don't you just want to do it? Like, who wouldn't want to just sit for 20 minutes a day and like take a break from all the crap? Like, I want to do it, you know what I mean? And even when I don't want to do it, which still happens, I do it anyway, because I understand the difference in how I'm going to feel after, and I understand that a veil is going to be lifted, and that I'm going to be able to see what's really going on much clearer with a bigger understanding. And so that is why I do it, and I really want anyone who's even somewhat curious about it to start doing it and to not overthink it, to just go do it. And so I have other videos on like what I listen to and things that I do, but like really there's nothing like complicated about this. You don't need to buy anything. You can go onto YouTube and look up any kind of guided meditation. Right now there's a full moon, so you might want to look up full moon in October 2019 guided meditation, and it'll come up. I think it's full moon in Aries right now. There's that. There's another really amazing app called Insight Timer, which literally is an app on your phone that you can just set a timer and like a background music track, like a nature sounds to, or you can explore the thousands and thousands of like free guided meditations by different teachers on there. And one of my favorites is Sarah Blondin. As I've mentioned before, she does a program called Live Awake, and those go deep quickly, and like no matter what's going on. Even if I'm in a good mood, I will listen to it, and like it just brings up the dark shadow, and it just exposes like who we really are as people, and it just makes me cry every single time. And that's a good thing, because it's like really a big release, and it's also like a reflection and a mirror going up in my face of saying, here's something, you know, that you bury on the day-to-day basis and that you kind of need to pay attention to and like notice about yourself. Not to criticize or to judge or anything, but just to see it and just to feel what that sadness might be, or what that unworthiness feeling might be, or whatever. So anyway, Sarah Blonde and Live Awake is really good. And then earlier this year, I actually did put out a guided meditation program with NATALIE, MATIAS, my best friend who you know, and this is the Live with Purpose program that we did in Bali. And I'm not saying that you need to buy this program, because I said you don't need to buy anything, which is true. But if you are at any level and maybe you just want some encouragement, this is an audio meditation program where I do give little pieces of advice and story or wisdom at the beginning of each day. It's a 10-day program, and then NATALIE takes you into a guided meditation with a easy technique incorporated into it. It might be visualization, it might be like some kind of breath exercise, some kind of observational exercise while you're in the meditation. And I would say it's for anyone at any level, because even if you're a regular meditator, I think it's always good to kind of switch things up, listen to new things, try something different. And if you're new, it's not overly complicated, and it's very introductory as well. But what I like about our program is the way that we like manifested this program and created this program, co-created it together, was so interesting, because it really was something that was like channeled. Like we knew we wanted to do a program, but we didn't know, like we were like, well, what's the program? You know, we knew it should be a 10-day thing because that was our retreat, and that was the whole inspiration behind it, was the Live with Purpose retreat that I did this year with the Getaway Co. But anyway, the way it all came out was like so magical. And I, of course, have done the program myself. Not only did I create it, but I actually did the program in Bali at the retreat myself, because now this is what we did every morning. And there is a specific overarching theme to each day, and the journey that this thing takes you on. And I use a circle because everything happens in cycles, right? And what we've noticed about the Live with Purpose program and these themes, the way we've put them, is it is a perfect cycle of like what happens when you go through this journey, and when you're on this path, and when you're following the signs and the synchronicities, and when you're doing the work, and when you're revealing more of who you are. There is this cycle that happens. It doesn't mean you do it once and it's all discovered, like I said, and it's done. Like, this is a lifelong thing, and there's always going to be this life, death, life cycle that happens. And we somehow encapsulated this cycle of like, not only a cycle of like creating something or trying to transform something about yourself, whether it's tangible or emotional or mental. This cycle is just like, I've gone through this cycle now twice already since we created the program. And I see it all the time, and I always think back to like, we were able to articulate this process or this thing that happens through these themes and through these practices and through these exercises. And it really is this like journey. And I just think of it in a circle and a cycle, and you're going to experience it time and time again. And I feel like it's like a wheel. And if you're not on this wheel, and you are on the wheel, but you may not have an awareness that you're going through these cycles. And I think it's like very important, I think even for women especially, to get on the wheel, get on this rhythm of understanding what you are experiencing on a metaphysical level and how it manifests in the physical realm here. And I'm just thinking about all this as I say it, but it is a circle. It follows obviously your cycle, which is linked to the moon cycles, which I follow. And, you know, there's just so much going on is what I'm trying to say. And I think if you're not aware of it, start becoming more aware of it and ask to receive guidance about it so that you can notice. And it's like, once you notice the signs and the signals, it's just information being fed to you to show you the way. And therefore, you don't really have to do anything. You just have to remember to come and sit every day in a spot anywhere in your house and meditate. I think that sort of encapsulates it. So anyways, you can check out our Live with Purpose meditation program. I have linked it below. Just so you know, I don't make any money from this. All the money goes to Natalie. Natalie is a new entrepreneur who's been running her meditation offerings as a business since spring 2018. And so she is looking for ways to expand and to grow and to expand her income. And so I don't take a cut from this, just so you know. But I do think if you want to try something and you want to spend a little bit of money and you want to have this program forever and you want my encouragement and Natalie's amazing magical guidance, then this program is for you. But like I said, you don't have to, because there's lots of free things on the internet. So check out my playlist below, meditation and more. And let me know what you do, what you find, what you have found that works. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I think another thing I'm trying to think about, and this I will wrap up, but one thing I'm trying to think about is, like, I'm noticing that the bridge is forming between what I do in this vegan food world, and obviously I've run now this retreat that had sort of a spiritual undertone and this idea of learning about meditation, the Live with Purpose thing, which we are going to be announcing another one soon, happening in 2020 in Bali again. So stay tuned for that. But what I'm saying is that I'm noticing this bridge is coming together to, like, bring these worlds together. The retreat was definitely a huge creation and manifestation that showed me that. What I've been thinking a lot about is on the YouTube front of things, and in this space that I've made, this community here that is here, you know, I'm trying to sort out if, like, I'm wondering how niche this topic is, because it's like, I don't want to become a channel that this is all I talk about. You know, I have my food channel and that's going to remain a food channel. This should be sort of a mixed bag of everything, and I feel like there's a lot of positive response when I do talk about this kind of stuff, but I just want to be careful of not teetering too far into it, and then I don't want to become that, is what I'm saying. So, but I'm trying to get a sense for, like, how much of this community here and this audience out there cares about this stuff, and I sense that it is very niche, and that there's only a small percentage of you that want me to talk about this. I'm not sure, because definitely the food content on this channel performs way better and gets much more attention than this kind of stuff. Doesn't matter, but it's just an interesting observation. And so I just wonder, when I talk about this and I'm talking about Live with Purpose, the retreat, and I'm talking about the Live with Purpose meditation program, I'm just wondering, like, who is that reaching and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we had so much great response to the Bali retreat that is why we're doing it again. So you are out there, and I see you, and I very much appreciate you. And anyway, I like talking about this stuff. I'm not always, you know, I definitely don't come to the table prepared in any kind of way, although I guess I'm prepared because I'm experiencing all of this. So sometimes I feel a bit like wacky talking about it, but I think you understand me. At least that's what I'm being told. Okay, so thanks for watching. And also, yeah, go follow Natalie too on Instagram, because she does a lot of other free guided meditations on Instagram stories or Instagram TV, and she's always got new offerings. So if you're looking for more stuff, go follow her. I linked that below in the comments as well. And let me know what else you want to see. I'm not going to be posting here every week, of course, for the next while, because I'm still working on the book. But when I do get a chance and I feel inspired like I did today, then I'll post something. So see y'all soon. Bye.